Hi, this is Susan from Susan B Cards. Today I'm going to show you how I made this slider card. This one is just a sample and it was a prototype so I could test out how it would look. I found on a channel called Dawn's Stamping Thoughts, and I'll link the video in my description below. So as you can see, I cut an oval that looks like an egg and I stamped the sentiment here. It has a slit right here and a tab behind the egg, and you can pull it up, and then it has this sub-sentiment, which is "You're extraordinary." So I didn't finish decorating it because this was just a sample. I just wanted to see how it was going to work. And then I thought that I wanted to change this up a bit. So I'll show you how I made it. First of all, I use the stamps from Simon Says Stamp, and this set is called Eggstra Special. And there's all these cute little chicks, and then these large Happy Easter, have an extra special Easter sentiments, and then these small ones here, which to me are like sub-sentiments you could put underneath, whatever. So in mine, I use "You're extraordinary" on the inside, and I was going to stamp one of the chicks right here. And I also colored some of these little chicks out, and I just cut these by hand, and I was gonna glue them to this egg right here. Now you don't have to use an oval, which is what this is. You can use any shape. You can use a rectangle that fits here, a square, whatever, that your sentiment will fit on. Now I wanted something that was going to be large enough to fit this sentiment, so I had these oval dies, and these are old ones from Spellbinders. I'm not sure if they make them anymore, but you can find these pretty much anywhere. So I just put this up to the sentiment on there and figured out which size I would need. So this one was great because it still fit in the size of my card. This oval is about 4 inches long, and at its widest part, about 3 inches wide. So let me tell you what you're going to need to make this card. First, I have white cardstock, and the first piece is cut 4 by 5 inches. That's going to be the inside piece of this card. And then there's a small tab that you need, and this one is cut 3/4 inch by 3 1/4 inches. And that goes on to the oval shape and inside to help the card go up and down. And then you need a scrap of the same paper in whatever size your die needs. So I didn't want to give an exact size. I just had, a leftover piece from the piece that I cut here. For the pattern paper, you need a piece 4 inches by 5 1/4 and colored cardstock that's cut 5 1/2 by 9 inches. Now, that's an odd size shape, but I wanted my card when folded to be an A2 size. So this is the size of paper you need. In the original video, she used half a sheet of US size cardstock, and she cut it at 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. So that's, if you cut the paper normally this way, you would be able to make 2 cards. Now the paper that I used is Sizzix, and I wanted to use this textured cardstock, but their cardstock is cut at 8 1/4 inches by 11 3/4 inches, which is their standard UK size paper. So whichever size you want to use, just know that if you do make an A2 size card, you're only going to get 1 card out of a piece of cardstock just because of the sizing. If you want 2, then you need to use Dawn's instructions The paper that I used for this card is no longer available. It's really old. This is a piece of Lawn Fawn paper that I really like, but I decided to, you know, make something that if you really wanted to find the paper, you could. But you can easily find, you know, a springy type plaid in a lot of different packs. The one that I use is something that I just had on hand, and it comes from a pad of paper. And this is, this one is called Just Sayin, and it's on the Spellbinders website. So again, just use what you have. You don't necessarily need a plaid, whatever pattern you want. I mean, I think polka dots would be pretty, you know, even a solid if that's what you have. Okay, so I'm going to take my colored cardstock, and I'm going to score it now at 4 1/4 and 8 1/2. When you score to 8 1/2, you're going to end up with a 1/2 inch tab right here, and that's going to be hidden so that you can glue together your card. Okay, so I scored the 1/2 inch tab here, and I'm going to, you leave it open, but it's just to give you an idea that you have the paper in correctly. And I'm going to put the edge of this paper at 1 1/2 inches. And then I'm going to score. Now, here on the edge, it'll show you numbers, and so it'll let you know where you're scoring to. It's a little bit hard to see. So you can see here, I have the edge at 1 1/2, and then there's numbers on the side here that you can score. So I want to go from 1 inch to 4 inches. I'm just showing you this because can't see it up against a dark paper. But 4 inches is right here. So I'm at 1 inch, and I'm going to score it all the way down to 4 inches, okay? So you have this slit right here now, and that's what this tab is going to go into. And it'll help your paper go up and down. So that's what that's like. I'm going to go ahead and move this. Now, this piece of paper is going to go over your colored cardstock. And you could have adhered both of them at this, you know, you could have adhered it at the same time and then cut both the pieces of paper at once. But I wanted to see where the glue is going to need to go to. But you don't have to do it this way. You also want to be sure that the glue isn't going over this slit here that you made. You could also use just regular white glue, but I thought this was just going to be a little bit faster. So, okay, so that paper is back. And then again, this little tab's lined up. This little tab will be lined up at 1 1/2. Show everything straight. You could have scored this all at the same time. You could have cut this all at the same time, but I just wanted to be sure that I didn't have the glue in the wrong place. So again, I'm going from 1 to 4 inches. So I didn't videotape this, but what I did here is before I'm going to put the card together, I'm going to use this punch. It's 1 1/2 inches, and all I did was line it up so that it was between the two edges so that it's centered, and then I just put it in and then cut it. So now you have a thumb pull. You could also use a circle die if you want, I want to do that before I put my inside paper in. Next, I'm going to take this tab, and it goes right in here. And I'm going to fit it right about here. And then I'm going to take a pop dot. I'm using these pop dots. And it's going to give it a little bit of dimension so that the oval will be able to go up and down, hopefully without brushing the paper. You know, it'll easily slide up and down. So I'm going to put this here. Just going to line this up. Put the pop dot right here. Just leave that. And then on the, I'm going to open it up. And then I'm going to put some red tape on the edge here. And this is going to hold my paper. The paper that moves up and down. And I also put a piece on the edge here so that I can close it like this. So you want it on the inside so the paper won't show when you close it. So just be sure to put that red line tape on the front. Okay. So now I'm going to attach the paper that's going to slide up and down. Okay, so this is the bottom. I'm pushing this tab all the way to the bottom of the slit. Here's the thumb pull. Here's the bottom. So pushing it all the way down. Flipping my card. Now you want it so that the edge, the top edge of this white piece is going to hit the top edge of the thumb pull. And then you want to get it between the two folds. You want to be sure that you don't touch the folds. So here it is, bottom. I'm going to just put this down, try to space it again. You want it so that this edge doesn't show. Pressing it down. So here it is. And then when you pull it up, it'll be like this. I'm going to use a hole punch and just cut a hole right there. I made a small pencil mark where I want the hole to be, so that it's centered. Doesn't have to be perfect. And now I'll be able to put the ribbon right there. I die cut my oval. I'm just putting it back in. It's just a little bit easier to hold it in place. I'm using Simon Hurley ink, and this color is called Rosy Cheeks. So the stamp has a little marks here so that it looks like it has highlights. That's, you know, not an error. You can actually see it in the print. I think on the cover, as you can see right here. It's just to make it look like white highlights. Next, I want to put my sub-sentiment down. So I'm just pulling up my inside card all the way up to the top. I want to be sure that you can see it when it's pulled up. And I'm going to use Your Extraordinary. Just want it to be a little bit higher than the top of the card. So it's going to be like that. And I want to be sure some of these still fit. I'm going to use the same ink. Don't want to press too hard on the small pieces. Okay, so let's see how that looks. think I want to put this cute little guy here. I'm going to stamp it rather than glue it on, just because I don't want it to get caught on my card when I pull it up. So it's just this little chick here, and I'll color that. I'm going to stamp that in black. So when it's closed, you can't see it. I'm going to color this little chicken, and then I'll attach everything. Okay, I colored in my chick, and now I'm going to attach the oval. I just want to be sure it's lined up and that it doesn't interfere with the sub-sentiment there. So that looks pretty good. Could put another chick right here. I was thinking the little hula or little ballerina girl here, which would be cute too. Okay, I'm going to attach the ribbon. If I had some pink ribbon, that would look good here, but I don't. I used some yellow and white ribbon, which was cute on the green card. I'm just going to tie that. It's cute. Here's the other one. But I didn't decorate. Maybe I'll just decorate this one too. So you can make either size, but this one's going to fit into an A2 size envelope, which I like. This one's just a little bit smaller. I realized that the little tab was sticking out on the side here, and I didn't want it to show, so I just took a scissors and I clipped it off so that you couldn't see the tab. So it's like this. And I added a cute little dancing chick, because I thought that went with Your Extraordinary, you know, two kind of happy-go-lucky guys there. And then if you feel like it's a little empty, you could stick another chick right down here. But I think I'm just going to leave it. You can also put some gems down here, but I didn't have any gems that really went with it. I'll list all the supplies beneath this video in the description. Also, you can go to my blog at susanbcards.blogspot.com, and I'll put the dimensions for this card and also for this card in case you want to make two, or you just don't want to, you know, waste any of the paper. But those are my two cute little cards today. And that's it. So thank you for watching, and happy Easter.